There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong.
That was Denzel Washington talking about how the devil only shows up to people when they're doing the right thing. Only that the devil, in this case, might have been Diddy, as Washington was reportedly seen leaving one of the moguls' parties with a strange countenance.
Go down there?
Yeah, we're gonna try that.
Could y'all make sure he gets down?
On why he seemed shaken up. Turns out he might have seen Diddy do something that left him scarred. Something like this.
We used to have these bottles, right? And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been had something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff.
And now, it's even much worse. Just like any other gathering of any group of people, you're always sure to find polar opposites. Or in this case, people growing to become opposites of who they were. We've seen this in the lives of several celebrities in recent times. Take Diddy, for example. The rapper, who many knew to be a ruthless businessman that wouldn't let anything get in the way of him and his money, seems to have transformed into a different man. Not only did the news say he decided to give his old artistes their publishing rights after over a decade of milking them, but he's also rebranded himself as Brother Love, to imply that all he does is spread love. However, even with all of these changes to Diddy's life, you take one look at him and can tell how he and someone like Denzel Washington are miles apart. Well, it would shock you to know these men used to move with the same circle, up to the point that Denzel might have once been a regular at his crazy parties. But it seems Denzel might have seen Diddy indulge in some things that changed his entire orientation about the industry. And now, the man is finally speaking up. There's almost no one out there who can say they haven't at one point heard about Diddy's parties. It's the party even celebrities only hope to get an invitation into. At least it was for a while in the 90s and early 2000s. These days, the only thing that seems to be making the rounds about the parties are some indulgences the attendees of the parties have mentioned. While that conversation usually swirls on drugs and full-on naked people walking about his parties doing all the most intense substances, most people only remember that Diddy had a habit of walking into rooms with men. Now, the rapper himself hasn't ever come out to admit he's gay, but what he has done is describe himself as sexually fluid. Piecing all of these things together, do you really think any space with Diddy is where you'd find someone like Denzel Washington? Turns out it used to be at one point, only that it seems the stories of Diddy's escapades might have gotten to him, and it definitely struck a chord, to say the least. Denzel literally cut that part out of his life and never once looked back. However, these details have managed to stay out of the media for years, majorly because the actor is known for keeping his personal life as discreet and out of the media as possible. On the other hand, it seems the actor might have taken his time to reflect on his experiences until he was finally ready to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems that time is finally upon us, as Washington now seems to be singing like a bird.
So, is he capable? I believe Cassie. Who you believe?
I know we're supposed to always see the best in people, but Diddy kind of has a way of rubbing off on you the wrong way. This has been the story of several people who have dealt with him over the years. It seems Denzel Washington might be the latest addition to that list of people, as the actor has just seemingly hinted that Brother Love wasn't always the most loving person. It's even starting to look like that might have been the very thing that ruined the already shorthanded relationship they had. There are just certain celebrities you'll never have pictured could be friends in 100 years, and Denzel's name in any sentence with Diddy probably gives a lot of people that same feeling. I mean, listen to this.
I think that because inside of every one of us, we have something tugging at us, telling us to believe in something, to have faith in something. I think that's natural. That's the God in us.
Of course, these people most likely have a lot in common, as they're both veterans in the entertainment industry and have maintained their relevance with successful projects in their respective lines of work. However, Diddy, according to the historical facts available about him, has always had a knack for extravagance, whether it's his music video or an appearance at the club. As long as Diddy's in that space, chances are everyone knows he's there.
Yeah, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I'll be practicing. I got
Yeah.
Washington, on the other hand, has been described by many as someone who doesn't speak very much. So with these contrasting views about both men, it's a miracle that they could even go anywhere together. But we all know how crazy the 90s were. According to several clips from back in the day, it seems Denzel Washington was an attendee at some of Diddy's parties. No one can really say this is a big deal, as celebrities throw parties strictly for celebrities all the time. However, it seems Denzel might have not been entirely sure of what happened at Diddy's parties before accepting the invite, or maybe it was actually a regular party. Because the next time paparazzi caught up with him leaving a Diddy party, he didn't have the brightest smile.
Hi, Denzel.
Hello.
How are you?
Why, you ask? Let's just say Diddy's parties don't have the best reviews. For starters, social media influencer, entrepreneur, winemaker, and author Josh Ostrovsky allegedly shared a real horror encounter with Diddy and his friends. Josh lives in the United States. The Fat Jew is the name by which he is better recognized on social media.
You know, a lot of people felt one way and a lot of people felt the other way. I sort of got kind of placed into the middle, was like the face of the issue. And I was like, you know, the internet is for yelling and screaming.
Josh basically talked about how he faced the backlash when he exposed Diddy for his dirty actions. Well, it was also natural for the netizens to criticize Josh because we all know how Diddy has always kept his angelic image among the public. It all started when Josh attended a party that was held on Star Island in Miami, which is also the location of P. Diddy's private mansion. He was there alongside a well-known house producer who was serving as the party's DJ. And what could he have possibly seen there?
And like beautiful, like ethnic models, like just beautiful women who I obviously had no interest in because so
Only beautiful women? But if there were only beautiful models there, then there should be nothing wrong with the party.
and it's telling me that, like, you know, every third person is some executive, you know, got behind the scenes guys who I don't recognize.
This is something suspicious where Josh might have stumbled because he might have been feared of being recorded wrongfully. And to think of it, it is also very suspicious how a party can only have women while there are no men. But what happened afterward? Josh went to look for the bathroom, and with that, he just made his way down one flight of stairs, and he found himself deep within the twisting corridors of the mansion. And here, two things might have sounded fishy to him. One, no bathrooms in the rooms and men in the rooms. And this is not it. They were all lying around in a very weird manner.
All kind of like very like Romanesque, like laying about and, you know, kind of like very like kind of leaning on each other, not really spooning, but like conversationally spooning.
Well, you might know if two people lie like they are spooning, they must be a couple. But two men spooning and seeming to be romantically involved is somewhat very weird.
Yeah, it would almost be the prelude to an orgy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh
Okay.
my God. It was so prelude to
Okay.
an orgy.
That whole scenario could have been enough for Josh to clear all doubts that Diddy put on a show to invite beautiful women so that no one could find what was actually happening behind that pool packed with women. But Josh did not sit back silently and even disclosed apparently that Diddy's after parties and parties are no less than anxiety because when you leave those parties, the scenes haunt you for your life. He said, pretty much everything. I've got a plethora of problems. Aren't we all, at this point, suffering from raging anxiety? The experiences we do are what people wish they could do, like riding around in a convertible with a llama in New York. There are probably not a lot of people in the world who don't see how Washington might have a problem with Diddy's way of life, considering the actor is almost always speaking about the Bible or miracles in his interviews.
High up on the mountain, I've been blessed, but that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And it's lonely up there.
Yeah.
You know, people don't know that side of it.
But if you still don't see it, how about the fact that Diddy might have had a thing for illicitly drugging women back in the day? That's right. According to allegations by one of his old bodyguards, Gene Deal, Diddy used to have women around him ingest drugs without their knowledge. The former bodyguard, who used to mostly go everywhere with Diddy, said the rapper had a pattern where he wouldn't put drugs in the alcohol for the ladies because they were always on guard about that.
They don't understand it's in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They done put the pills and the stuff in the roofies.
He revealed that instead, Diddy would have the drugs be put into the punch, which most people who want to stay away from alcohol usually took at parties. Little did they know they were taking some pretty strong substances. Again, this in its entirety goes against everything Denzel Washington and his brand seem to stand for, as the actor has been relentless in his preaching about men taking more responsibility in their lives.
Not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter.
Diddy, on the other hand, stays making men in the same room as him as uncomfortable as possible.
Won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
Did you just notice how Fabulous was hesitating while Diddy said he wanted to go to the party? Why? because Fabo might have known that there is always something going wrong when Diddy is invited. And this is why Fabulous gave him a very awkward facial expression.
I understand. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So
And when he's not making men uncomfortable, he's getting violent with women. In case it hadn't come up in your feeds yet, Diddy was accused only 2 weeks ago in a lawsuit of subjecting R&B singer Cassie to a years-long relationship that included beatings, and R. Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, alleged in the suit filed against the producer and music mogul in New York federal court that Combs brought her into his ostentatious, fast-paced, and drug-fueled lifestyle, not long after she met him and signed to his label when she was 19 and he was 37 in 2005. At the time, attorney Ben Braffman said Combs vehemently denies the allegations. The suit alleges that, prone to uncontrollable rage, he subjected her to savage beatings in which he punched, kicked, and stomped her. It alleges he plied her with drugs and forced her to have sex with other men while he masturbated and filmed them. The suit says that as she was trying to end the relationship in 2018, Combs forced her into her Los Angeles home and R-ed her. After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships, Ventura said in a statement. At first, it looked like the coast got slightly clearer for Diddy, but a couple of people have come out in support of Cassie, one of whom was her close friend. In an open letter to Diddy published in Rolling Stone on Thursday, Grammy-winning singer-songwriter Tiffany Red said he traumatized her. Red's piece follows Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy, which was filed on November 16th and privately settled less than 24 hours later. Besides her, even Diddy's old bodyguards revealed that Diddy was in fact capable of the things he was accused of, and that he actually believed Cassie's story over his former bosses.
So, is he capable? I believe Cassie. Who you believe?
Tells you a lot about the man, doesn't it? And don't even get me started on the other accusations against Diddy that have come out since then. What all of these details put together do is paint a picture of just how different Diddy and Denzel actually are, which also explains why the man might choose to mop the ocean rather than be at a Diddy party. In fact, even the fans know Denzel would never be caught up in any compromising situation. It's to the point that even when other people try to include the actor in conversations about Diddy, his fans say, "Let's leave Denzel out of this. Y'all can have those other ends. Denzel is innocent." It seems like Diddy will never beat the charges, as everyone, even those who have never literally seen him, already seem to have him figured out for who he truly is. And from here, it might only get worse for the mogul. That's it for this video. Goodbye.